So the next question is, what type of question do you ask in the technical review meeting?
This is a good question. As mentioned just before, I want to be more precise in this answer. So I remember one time I was actually doing the validation on the seller portal, and this is actually the big client. In this case, their product, they actually make the changes on the API. And for some reason, I was actually thinking it's like the typical, like our implementation. And I was asking some of the questions, and I was called out there. You need to remember, this is not the regular change. This is our big client that we follow the different template. Our API is different, and the process is different. So I thought, well, maybe I'm not doing in the right format. So I did not ask any more questions. So I actually went back and looked the new requirements again, details, because I was actually working the multiple project. So in this case, I said, I'm not going to ask any questions, but I will be preparing some question. I will ask the backend developer one-on-one, just to book a call as if needed. Otherwise, it would be just the chatting offline. So some of the questions I was asking, because they're making a lot of changes on the product attributes, and they have whatever it's called, they have the different vendor, some vendor from the USA that they're getting the product, some vendor from the China, they're getting the product. And the APIs is different for our backend perspective. So I asked the questions, okay, I understand how to test the US side vendor. What about the vendor is coming from the Alibaba or some other, the big giant? So in this case, I got the two sets of APIs. It's an example. One is complete the Alibaba's AliExpress, the API, the backend APIs that I can actually literally hit their system to get the expected outcome. And those APIs actually they're connected with our backend. And another sets of APIs, our API, means how we connected for our clients. So whenever our complex the client, and then we are depending on the third party's API and the third party system beside our regular system. In that case, I actually get the both API. I try to collect the both APIs, but my learning is different because the third party's API, their work, their approach is different. Example, you have to follow some type of test data to test their APIs, and you have to follow the network, because some of the network you will not be approved because their proxy just block you to hit their backend system. So in this case, we actually the white label our API for their platform. So you need to make a request. Okay, this API need to be white label on their platform. In that case, I can actually make the call to their backend directly, means their API. Other than that, we cannot, because our cloud is actually white label with their backend, but our internal system, means our regular system is not, means my computer or our on-prem network is not white label. So when I actually join this type of meeting, I actually make sure the white labeling works very well, so that the testing can be done smoothly, and the integration actually has no the confusion. Then the proper test outcome.